places. And then Rob's sister, my sister in love, Crystal, is here too, right? And so she's here, and then my two daughters here, then Robbie's here, and then me and Rob. We're all in the bed the other night, right? And I know I was knocked out. So we're laying there, and then all the alarms in the house go off, like the fire alarms, but they all went off at once. They just all went off like, brrr, and then it stopped. Like they just went off and then it stopped. And of course, everybody, already knew anytime there's a sound in our house, the kids just come running straight to the room like, Ma. I don't know why they always do that, come yell at me, and they dad closer to them. But anyway, so they come yelling, Ma. So I woke up, I'm like, yeah, y'all heard that? And so, okay, this is how fear starts, right, y'all? So there was an event. The event was the alarms going off. And then our brain immediately wants to start understanding it, get the story. So then it's what we tell ourselves about the event. So y'all get that? So there's an event, and then what you tell yourself about the event. So right then, everybody was like, dang, why did the alarms go off? So we're checking around to see if like there's some smoke somewhere, some gas somewhere, right? So then that was one step. And then I'm like, okay, listen to all these stories that we start telling ourselves. So my story was, okay, it probably was like one of those times where like, if they all synchronize and go off, then it just does that randomly sometimes with these new houses. You know how that be. The wiring or something, I don't know. But then the next story came along, and Nia comes into the room, and she's like, y'all know these fire alarms are also carbon monoxide detectors too, right? So then I'm like, yeah, I do know that. But we had all the windows in the house open. So then the next thing was she came into the room and said, no, Crystal came into the room and was like, does anybody feel lightheaded or got kind of a headache, or, how y'all feeling, right? So then her story came in. And so then just like that, there's an event, and then what we tell ourselves is how we'll feel next, or how we'll move forward. If we move forward in fear, or if we're relaxed. So I was just kind of like, my story was, you know what, the alarms went off, and that's that. Like it didn't continue, so that's it. And I remember to myself that, and the windows are open, so all the windows are open, so there's air flowing through here. So then there's this fear knocked on Robbie's door real hard. Let me tell y'all how. So Robbie just came in the room. He's like, Mom, I don't feel good. I don't feel well about all this. And I was like, okay, well, tell me what's going on. Do y'all know this boy then went in there, grabbed his phone. He didn't know what the carbon monoxide situation was. He didn't Googled it. So from him Googling it, he reads that it's a silent killer, and there's you can't smell it and you're not aware. So then he lays down, like he comes in our room. He's like, can I lay in here? So I was like, yeah, go ahead, lay down. So he lay down and he kind of started whimpering. And I'm like, Robbie, what's going on? He was like, I don't want to die. Y'all, he's like, Mom, I don't want to die, and it's a silent killer. I ain't laughing at him. I'm laughing because of how you have an event, and then the story you tell yourself is what will guide, our fear. So that story, he told himself that there was carbon monoxide in the house, and that guided his fear, and that moved him to feeling like, all of us could potentially die. So that just got me thinking, y'all, about how so many times, right, just we get told a story. Like Robbie, had he just gone into a different room and hadn't heard Nia or Crystal or anybody talk about like the alarms and carbon monoxide, he would have just went back to sleep. Because my story to him was, oh, the alarms do that sometimes. So it's okay, just go back to sleep. But isn't that the same way in our lives, y'all? Like we've been told or domesticated about something. I'm going to tell y'all this real quick, and then I know my 7 minutes up. But I got to tell y'all something. When I said when I was a little girl and I was scared of the dark, y'all want to know where that came from? It came from the domestication of people starting to tell me about this idea of a devil, right? So I'm just a little girl minding my business, just feeling happy on life. And then out of nowhere, somebody started telling me about this devil or this evil entity that's coming after all of us. And y'all, it just got me, right? It just got me. Somebody told me about a devil, this outside evil entity whose sole mission is to come for us and to harm us. Y'all think about that as a little girl, having to navigate that and just having to feel like, well, what am I supposed to do? And while I'm supposed to call on God and say, God, keep me safe, why y'all have to tell me about this evil entity that's coming for me? And as a little girl, I always felt that I had this fear of like, this evil entity that his whole purpose and sole reason to be alive is to harm people. I know that might sound extreme, y'all, when I explain it, but that's exactly what my brain did. And I'm so thankful that I couldn't Google back then and Google and saw some of these images of what people have created in their minds to what the devil to be. But I just really don't align with that, y'all. I don't. I'm just being honest. I don't align with this idea that there's this outside evil entity that's coming for us. What I do believe is that within us, we have fear and we have love. And I think a lot of the issues that come about, are rooted in fear. And then, it's just like that native saying about you have these two wolves in your heart, like one is love and one is like this anger. I believe the same thing to be true about this devil or evil entity. I just don't believe in it. I don't believe that there's an evil entity just set out to harm us. I believe that through our fears and through our uncertainties and through just navigating this life, that we come across some things that we don't understand, and y'all know we start fearing it. And I think a lot of stuff that we'll say, oh, that's the devil, or that's this evil entity, I think it's just the I don't know, maybe we could call it the unintended consequences of like people's choices and the things that they do, or things that they start to believe to be true, or stories that they tell themselves. I don't know what y'all think about that. I know a lot of people don't like that because they'll say, well, the Bible said, and I respect that. I respect that people say what the Bible said. But I also look into like the practice of the Yoruba people and like the Orishas, and also like the history of Kemet, ancient Egypt and all those stories. And I want to know more in that regards. I don't know. I'm just not solid on just like all we do is like they told us in the Bible that there was an evil entity and that's what's coming for us. Because it's a whole lot of humans that I feel practice showing up as a devil more than I believe there's this, unseen evil entity. I don't know, y'all. I just got to going on that. But I was going to have us do this this breath work. So let's do this real quick, y'all. Let me put my glass down. Just this breath work about this strength, this inner strength that's within us. And like to move away from fear, or where that fear comes from, and checking it out. So y'all ready? All right. So just come into a cross-legged seated or wherever you feel comfortable. You're going to come into your strength. That's what you're going to come into. Let's come into our strength. So that's our affirmation. Close your eyes. Right now, I come into my strength. Okay? And then sitting upright, y'all, I want you to breathe in. I want you to breathe in from below, drawing from our Mother Earth. And then bring it up through your feet or through your bottom or whatever part of you. Just breathe that in, okay? Bring it up to your torso. And then also simultaneously, y'all, let's draw down. Let's draw from above. Draw through the top of our heads into our solar plexus. Let's draw down heaven or the sky world down into us, right? And then bring those energies together, right? So we want to come in to our strength. Y'all still breathing with me? So everybody with your eyes closed, keep breathing that. And then energize and visualize. Visualize this energy connecting from above and from below. From heaven and earth, from the sky world and from our earth, right? And in the center of your body, just breathe into that space, right? So there's this strength inside of you, this awareness inside of you. And then gather both of those from below and above. Gather both of those in your belly. And we're going to exhale forward. Do that again. Inhale. Exhale forward. So we're opening this imaginary door, right? We're opening this imaginary door to release any tension and fear that was taught to us. We can release that tension and fear from our stomach, from our liver, from our hips, from our midsection. And y'all, when it's time to release any fears that you've been told or socialized to believe, y'all bring this energy from below and above right here into your center, and then breathe that out, right? That's what we get to do, y'all. And y'all go and sit with some of this stuff that we've been taught, y'all. Because some of this stuff, I don't know. I don't know about this domestication that I've had. I got to go check it out for myself, okay? Y'all have a good week. Keep breathing with no fear.